Yeah, man. Been one of them days. You heard the old saying, when it rains, it pours.
Yes, I have.
So it's raining out here.
Yeah.
And then one of my fence panels decided to fall. So I was trying to deal with that before I got on the pod. And the crazy thing is, it's always one of those things to get humbled, to get you brought back down to earth after you've been out of here for a day. You know what I'm saying? Boy, been on a natural high and come back to a fence being down.
Well, I'm kind of blinded by all this thunder gear you got on over here, there, boy.
You know, I'm sponsored.
I'm telling you, got every single Thunder memorabilia known to mankind all at once. And the watch, let me see. Is that? No, wait a minute. Is that a Thunder watch also, or is that just the color?
Orange watch. It's just
I was about to say you done got you the custom Thunder watch.
Hey,
wait a minute.
It is what it is now, Mom. I'm a Thunder player now.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. Let's get that music going right now, sir.
Hey.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Can you dig it?
The Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep. Mr. Game 6.
Hey.
Mr. Game 6. We got a lot of things to talk about here. We recapping, no cap. We got a lot of things to talk about, bro, because since we met on last Friday, a lot of stuff been going on, bro. A lot of stuff going on. We got to get into though, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
First off, OKC pushing out to Game 7. Where we going with that? Listen, bro, I got some questions for you, bro, about this.
What's up?
Now we didn't have any particular order.
Nah.
But let me ask you something here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So the Brody, James Harden on one team, Houston, probably most threes in a season, right? What do you say that says about James Harden and Russell Westbrook if Oklahoma City gets this dub, bro? Is that an indictment on them?
No, it's an indictment on the coach.
How do you have two Hall of Fame players and you lose to a team with one Hall of Fame player on?
Because the thing is that Houston is predicated by making shots, period.
Facts.
So the thing is, if they're not making shots, that's their whole game. They don't change it up. They can't then switch it up and say, all right, we're going to drop it down and go to the big man. Now, Eric Gordon seems to be the only person who has the sensibility like, look, my shot ain't dropping, so I'm going to go ahead and drive to the basket and get fouled. James will do that every once in a while, but James has never been the one to be clutch in the playoffs. So it's not like he's acting out of character.
Well, that is my point. That's kind of where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Because if James Harden, who's the league's leading scorer, and we know that James Harden has had his past with coming up short before the Brody joined. Yeah. And then now he had Chris Paul. He was falling short before Chris Paul got there, right? So that's been his MO. So my thing is that even with Russ, we were watching the game, and you were telling me about watching the game. When I was watching, I was all over the place because I was trying to do 5 things all at one time, right?
Right.
But I remember you were telling me that you was watching in the last couple of seconds, and you was hoping that Russell's gonna give a turnover, and he did, right?
Well, let me put the disclaimer out there.
Talk it.
Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul are my favorite players in the NBA. Like, no cap. They have been they're 1 and 1A. I don't know which one is which. So obviously, the way I'm donned out, obviously, because of what I did before the game, I was rooting for my Thunder Boys. At that moment, I needed the Brody to get a turnover, and he didn't let me down.
Ace Kennedy.
It's the
What
best
is that?
for KC since he left.
What does that say, though, right? What does that say about you saying that about the Brody and James Harden doing what we've seen James Harden do? That means that that means that Russell Westbrook did exactly what you know him to have done in the past, and James Harden is doing the same thing. I guess what I'm wondering, right?
So then what has to change? The coaching.
Well, so okay, I get that, right? But my thing is this, though, bro. If the coaches did this during the regular season, right? And I understand that during the playoffs, it's a little different because it's about matchups. But at the end of the day, what I am wondering is this worked for them during the regular season, right?
Yeah.
I don't see why this couldn't necessarily work for them. And let's just say if like they say, it's a make or miss league. On any given day, anybody making shots could win. But my point is that we've seen D'Antoni have these kind of collapses as a coach in the playoff, but we've also seen Russ, and we've also seen James Harden. Russ's favorite player to watch, top 5 for me, favorite player to watch. I'm not saying he's a top 5 in the league, favorite player personally watch. But with that said, that it makes me, so this is the thing. This year especially, right? The reason why I'm saying that there are a couple of players who I have been very, very keen to watching, right? So Paul George has been one, right? Kawhi Leonard has been one, because I really wanted to see if Kawhi was really that guy and not just what he was, but he kind of came across a good situation. He got the Warriors unloaded, basically, right? So then I was like, let me just watch it to make sure that's the truth. But then also Giannis, like I've been watching these guys who I say, like, these are guys who I would say, yeah, they are superstar. Now, Paul George, we can talk about that. We always go back and forth on PG. But I'm just sitting there thinking, like, at some point, though, right? I don't. It's cool to just watch people do regular season stuff, right? But I want to see that manifest to championships, right? Because that's when you go legendary. So which superstar players are ready to finally be in legendary status? And those are the like 4 or 5 players who, when I look at it, the Chris Pauls, even though I think Chris Paul is a top 5 PG of all time, but I think that, you think about Russ, James Harden, stats. Giannis, stats. AD, stats. Paul George, stats. Damian Lillard, stats. I'm looking to see when are these guys who are in that upper echelon of superstar players are going to go ahead and take that step to legendary. And so I do think that says a lot about James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
But
if they lose to Oklahoma City.
Here's the thing. This is why I say it's the coach's fault. Number one, you just said it. The stats say what typically those players do.
Facts.
Okay? So the thing is that Russ is not shy about that moment. Russ could play bad the entire game, but still believes I will make the last shot if the ball is in my hands. And I love that about him, which is why I rode and died with whatever decision he did when he was with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is not with the Thunder. So anytime he's playing the Thunder, I have to root against him. If he's any other time, I'm living and dying with Russ.
Okay.
Here's why I say this is a coaching problem, because he knows those stats. He knows James Harden's stats. So you, as the coach, you also know that Russell Westbrook, this is his second game back in this series. He has not been playing well this entire time. He's only scored, he did better the second game, but he still had 7 turnovers in this game. which the last turnover was the most costly one because it was the end of the game. But at the same time, prior to that, you got 6 turnovers. You know characteristically what he typically does, and you know that this is his second game back. You have to take the ball out of his hands and let James produce, because James, not only can he shoot the 3, he can also drive and gets fouls called on him if you blow in his ear. Like you know that. So the fact that those things are there, as a coach, you got to make that call. And so you didn't. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, Charles. I guarantee, and I hate that Stephen A beat me to it before we got to pod, but if the Rockets lose game 7, there will be a new coach for the Rockets.
I think that he's going to be gone either way. I don't think he's coming back one way or the other.
If he wins a championship, how are you going to let him go?
They're not going to win a championship. I think that anything short of a championship, he's going to get let go. But here's where I'm going with this, though, right? Because I don't think that it's D'Antoni's fault, right? I think that, to me, I understand that making adjustments, that does put you in positions, right? Because I think it's one of the things Billy Donovan doesn't do very well, to be quite honest, is make adjustments. But with that said, though, I think that players win the games. I think Phil Jackson was a great coach, but Phil Jackson ain't going to no scrub team and putting them over the hurdle. He ain't going to play with no scrubs and rebuild them. I think he played with Kobe and Shaq, and at the end of the day, Kobe and Shaq had to do what Kobe and Shaq do. Jordan and Pippen had to do what they do for them to win. So I put this squarely, not even on Russ's shoulders. I personally, and I know I've been called a James Harden hater, and I take that. I put this on James Harden because here's my thing. I think that it's James Harden's team. And even though Russ was bringing the ball up the court and everything like that, I think that it's at that point that James Harden demands the ball. Like if he's your best one-on-one scorer and it's his team, I think that giving that what Russ is capable of doing, Russell Westbrook things, love him to death, but at the same time, if James Harden is your best one-on-one player, you put the ball in his hand unless he is not demanding the ball, and that is my problem. Like you can't sit there and not. So I say that I know that Russell played bad, but if you're the coach, you know that this dude has been playing bad the whole time, and you still give him the ball. Aside from that, it's James Harden's team. Say no. I'm taking the ball. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna blame coaching. I'm gonna say it's the players. And if I had to share the blame, I'm gonna say 80% James Harden, 20% Russ, bro. Russ 2 games in. He didn't have any business getting the ball, but Russ isn't gonna turn down the ball if you put it in his hand. So you get James Harden to save Russ from Russ.
But you also got to look at too, D'Antoni did nothing to help out. Who was that dude trying to guard Chris Paul? Oh my gosh,
Covington.
Yeah, Covington, bro.
Hey, listen, man. Chris Paul was out there styling on him, boy. And listen. Do you think Chris Paul, every shot that he's kind of looking at James Harden like, yeah.
He's looking at him like, bro, this is what you gave up. I just want you to see this. Because, I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, why is this going to 7? Let's be real here. You know what I'm saying? I should not even be Mr. Game 6 if Houston was handling their business. We were down by 2, bro.
Here's the thing, though, bro. James Harden did what James Harden has done. And that's my point. It's like I understand that James Harden, he had on that crazy streak and he averaged 30-some points a game, but he give you 30 of the meaningless points that you'll ever see in the playoffs. And even when that game 6, you look at James Harden's stat line, I'm pretty sure he shot terribly. So that's my thing. Even with that said, though, right? Even with that said, like James Harden has shrunk in the playoffs, but Russell, you was expecting Russell to turn the ball over. At least James Harden, he was
driving down the lane, and I said, "Come on, Russ, turn it over."
Oh my God!
Come on, Russ, turn it over, Russ, and then he threw it out of bounds. I was like, I hate. Here's the thing: if it's OKC, if he was in OKC, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't have been mad. I'd have been like, yo, that's Russ. He tried to not be selfish. I would have been riding for him. But because he's going against OKC yesterday, I need you to turn it over, bro.
Well, here's what I think is interesting, though, right? So what I think is that what does that make for the next series, right? Because let's just say Oklahoma wins, right? Does Oklahoma still have the energy, the resolve to then let that whole 7-game fight just go out the window after they were down? They win, they come back, and then say, now we got to do it all over again against the Lakers. Like, do they have the personnel to do that? With LeBron in playoff mode, that's tough.
Yes, I do believe they do. Here's why.
To win?
Yeah. Listen, the Houston Rockets, Memphis, and the Denver Nuggets is the only teams in the Western Conference that I was scared of as far as matchups is concerned. We can sit up here and say what team is better, what team is constructed better, all of that stuff. You can say that all day long. But when it comes to matchups, though, Oklahoma City just matches up well against the Lakers. They just, for some reason, they just don't seem to play their best basketball against them. I understand the playoffs are different, but I'm still not convinced that Anthony Davis is consistent enough in order for him to, he still has to show me.
I told you what that boy was going to do to Nurkic. I told you what he was going to do to Nurkic. And listen, and here's the thing, though. This is the problem that I have, because I understand, you know what I think? I think the only way, if Oklahoma puts Steven Adams against him, he's going to do the same thing. And the only way that won't happen is if they play Noel Nowens or whatever, Noel Nerlens. If they play him, he'll have a better chance against AD because he's a little quicker on his feet. But I just think that if you put Steven Adams out there, Steven Adams he's going to get about 14 rebounds a game, because I don't think that the Lakers rebound that well for them to have that height.
And the other thing, too, they're going to see what they classically do against Adams. They try to put Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee on him, and he puts them in foul trouble easy. And the thing is that I think that with Steven Adams, this series has made him grow up. I don't care what you say. Steven Adams has played about as well as I can want him to play in a series like this when he's got little bodies bumping up against him. Steven Adams is a beast, man. He will get on the floor.
I need Steven Adams. Listen, this is my problem with Steven Adams. Now, I agree with everything you're saying. I need to see Steven Adams average 20 points in the playoffs, bro.
He's not going to do that. And
that is the reason. But that right there, though, bro, I'm going to tell you the importance of him averaging 20, right? Because this is the thing about him, right? So he should average 20 because, in theory, he's a foot taller than everybody on the doggone Rockets team. So you should be getting rebound putbacks, right? But my thing is this: by Steven Adams averaging, let's say 18 to 20, 18, 19, 20. That means that you ain't just out there just guarding AD all day long or whoever. You're making them have to put some kind of effort in guarding you. So even if he don't average 20, I just need him to be more aggressive on offense so that other players would respect his offense and he would make them work. Because if he's just defending the whole game, he's going to always be in the rear from the start, though, bro.
Yeah, but
against AD anyway.
He has been super aggressive. That's why I said this series made him grow up. The thing is that he would bang a little bit harder with somebody to bang against. Is what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, like, listen, I was more afraid of Houston than I was of LA, because here's the thing. Houston, when they get hot, they're hot as a different type of hot. You know what I'm saying?
It's cold is a different kind of cold.
You're right. I understand that. But at the same time, though, they're more on than they are off. LA, LeBron's going to be on. But again, you're talking about Chris Paul, who they practice and play against each other in the summertime. Part of the Banana Boat crew.
Let me tell you this.
What's up?
How come Chris Paul didn't hit 2 people in the nuts already, bro? He hit somebody in the nuts last game. He hit somebody in the nuts the second game too. I understand that things happen in the game, but why is it that Chris Paul, I'm pretty sure if
I
there was
don't
a
even know what you're talking
stat.
about, to be honest with you. I know
Oh
Dennis
my
hit somebody in
gosh, he hit somebody in the nuts the other day.
Dennis
And
hit
I
somebody
think
in the nuts.
it's Covington that he hit in the nuts though, bro. And I think it's crazy too, though, bro. But this is my point. My point is that I'm pretty sure if there was an all-time leader in nut shots, it's Chris Paul because he's hit a bunch of people in the nuts.
No, I don't think he is, bro. I think I'm trying to think who it was that like punched him.
Draymond Green used to kick in the nuts, but Chris Paul do listen. And when Chris Paul does it real sly, right? So you'll be on his right, you'll be doing it, you'll be guarding him, and you're on his right side, right? So when he's getting ready to collect his jump shot, he swiped at you real quick, like almost like if he's trying to push you off to get space, but he hits you in the nuts to collect his shots. And see, while you're sitting here while he's doing this, you're doing this because you're grabbing your junk. And so it gives him a little split second to get his shot up. And usually now, this is what makes it seem like he practiced the nut shots because usually he makes the shot. Every time he hits somebody in the nuts, he makes the shots, bro.
That's a very weird stat, but I mean,
swear to God, all-time leader in nut shots, though.
But it don't matter. He on my team right now, so he can.
Hey, listen. So we talked about Game 7, another Game 7. I think going on today, Utah and Denver. Man, I think this is a pretty competitive.
Yes,
it's been the most entertaining series, and this I have the same wonder. I wonder if when you go through this much at Game 7, do you have anything left for a team like the Clippers, who would have been rested now for a couple? They would have been rested for almost 4 days now, right? So you give them another couple days for you to get ready and everything like that. They've already been scouted your team a little bit more and did whatever. I just wonder now, are you at that kind of disadvantage though, bro?
I don't think so. I think, man, listen, for one, you know, these people are conditioned to do this. This ain't like us in our 40s about to be where we playing these pickup games every other day. Like this is what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Hooping though, bro.
I know you do, but you still be icing them knees too.
Oh yeah, I gotta Kobe. I gotta put that ice in that Epsom salt. You know,
yeah, right?
Ice, Epsom salt, and a leave. That's my regimen, though, bro.
Right. But all I'm saying is that adrenaline is a different thing. Like, and so the thing is that I know for a fact that Spider is ready for this, but at the same time, you can't tell me Jamal Murray's not. You know,
Jamal Murray been balling, bro.
Right. So what I'm saying is they're playing for something different. They ain't ready to go home. Chris Paul said it last night. Like, I don't like having my bags packed knowing that I could leave the next day. Like, nah, we ain't trying to leave yet. So the thing, and then especially they got something to play for because if they win this series next week, their families get to come. So then it's like, all right, now I got my family here and I'm playing for basketball. I got something even more to play for.
Is the fake Chris Paul coming?
Nah.
Why I thought that was Carlton? Is that Carlton?
That is Carlton.
Is it Carlton, bro? I couldn't tell because he got the beard, and now when you watch
the little on the back of his head, yeah, that's.
Oh my God! Listen, bro. So I see Carlton. He's on America's Funniest Home Videos, and he has hair. It's curly or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yo, is that
thing on there?" You ain't see.
I said, "Boy, that's Carlton over here, thick self on here, boy."
You see the one where he's doing the weight. You look on the back, you'll see the fake hairline thing on there.
Oh my God. I thought that was him. I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought that was Carlton though, bro.
Yeah.
But I am excited. I just wonder even still, like, so even with Jamal Murray though, man, you think about it though, Jamal Murray, he's on the average in the season, and as for his career, I think he's only like a 17. He averaged like 18 a game. So for him to be knocking these 50-point games like this back to back, I know that he's like riding a hot streak. And that's all it really takes. But I'm just wondering, like, dude, can you ride this hot streak for 3 more series? Like, bro, like
the bubble, bro. Same with Jimmy Buckets. He ain't scored like that, bro.
Yeah, but Jimmy Buckets. Hitting
3-pointers like that, bro.
But that's always my concern. So Jimmy Buckets started doing his going toward the end of that first series, and now it's continuing. So what I'm just wondering if Jamal Murray got so hot so fast that now it's just going to be downhill, because you think about that. If you've had 2 50-point games, the only way up is to go 60, And then, like, do you still have that left? That's a lot to ask, though, bro.
Man, it's a difference though when you're about to go home, bro. You find that extra gear. The thing is, you got 1 day of recovery, and again, these dudes ain't. It's not like these dudes are in their 40s like us, where we need that whole day, probably 2 days of recovery before we get back out there. So I'm just saying, this is what they do, and I'm saying. I feel like it. I feel like they're very, very, very capable of maintaining this high level. Is what I'm saying. I definitely think Spider got it in him because he typically turns up during the playoffs. That's how he put Oklahoma. I mean, they put Oklahoma City out.
Hey, so you were talking about the boy Jimmy Buckets, bro. The boy Jimmy Buckets. Listen, if you don't, if you're Philadelphia, I'll be hard on. This is another person I'm hard on is Joel Embiid. So if you Joel Embiid, though, you got to be like looking like you got to feel like a whole sucker because Jimmy Buckets didn't go to Philly, didn't re-sign with them for what I've gathered, because he said, I just don't think he's serious about winning. And then they go and get put out in the first round. Easy, right? Dog, I'm going to be honest. I told you, Jimmy Butler's probably one of my top 5. I think I said it last time. He was in my top 5 players to watch because he's a player that I would want to play with. But I got to be completely honest with you, bro. I cannot stand to look at his mustache, bro. His mustache. I'm like, bro, you can trim it up. He in playoff mode. I know he don't care, but bro,
no,
his mustache look like about 100 whiskers, bro.
No, the top of his head is so dry. I'm talking dry.
His mustache looked like the mustache from like Tombstone or like a Wire Earth movie. It looks like he might be able to put some wax on it and then put the whole little barbershop style handlebar mustache on it. It's crazy, bro.
His whole stuff, bro. He need to keep a hat on that at all times. His stuff starting to look like old dude that used to play for Orlando that had that mop sitting up.
Yeah. He cut his stuff too.
I know he did.
Yeah. Hey, so let me ask you this one thing I wanted to get into. We were talking about, let's switch gears about, let me segue a little bit on basketball. So, and a couple other things too. So probably over the last couple of days though, bro, since we met, right? We've had a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a few people that have passed. John Thompson passed away. Cliff Robinson, NBA, passed away, bro. I was blown away because Cliff Robinson was about 53 years old. John Thompson, what's funny about John Thompson, bro, is that I always associate John Thompson twofold, right? I associate him with Allen Iverson, but I also associate him with when Alonzo Mourning, because Patrick Ewing, I was so young that I didn't see Patrick Ewing play in college, but I did see Alonzo Mourning, and I saw that all of the big men went through Georgetown, but I associated, big man post players and everything like that were good in the NBA with them though, bro. And I still remember, the wearing the Georgetown Hoyas hats and tees back. It was like the Hoyas was pop culture though, bro. Almost like UNLV was pop culture and Duke became part of pop culture. North Carolina. I was very surprised. I knew that he was getting up there in age though, bro, but I was very surprised with that though, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna front. I missed it because like I saw the picture of him of AI, but I didn't read it. You know how when you're just scrolling through Facebook and I saw that picture, it dawned on me. And so then, and I think I was still messed up because of T'Challa. And then I caught it, was like, oh man, another one. Like it's just, it's just crazy.
Well, and, so you said I'm tripped out because when you was talking about, well, we 40, the other players ain't like this 40, but the Chadwick Bozeman, bro, that hit me almost like Kobe.
That one hit me like family, bro. Like
that one hit me like Kobe, bro.
I was done. It was after the mic is yours. I was at a game night. And one of the members of the band sent it, and I'm reading it, and I'm just like, what? And so that, bro, I'm talking teared up, I was done. It wasn't for somebody to put their hand on my shoulder and it just kind of like snapped me out of it. Like, okay, you can't
43 years old, bro.
Right.
The thing that got me the most is that this. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it really got me, bro. I was really on an emotional roller coaster that day, right? So here it is. We're gonna talk about recapping. We might have to get into that here in a second, though, bro.
Might as well, bro.
Yeah. So listen. So we get done doing the pod having a good time on the pod. We laughing it on up, having a great time. Get on the mic is yours. Shout out to the homeboy DJ Mark Lane, by the way. Checking in. Shout out to the boy Mark Norris checking in. But we get on the mic is yours. Have a great performance on there, man. And so I got my family on over here. I got the in-laws, and we are over here killing it. We tearing down some crab. And then you send me the text message of the tweet. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, nah, this like, come on, right? No. And so I tell my wife and I tell my family, and they're like, for real? And they were like, no. So then it was just like after that, it just starts to, you start to see it being mentioned more and more and more and more and more. Then, of course, you look on your Facebook page. Everybody got this, that, and the other. Man. And I'm going to be honest. I think that my high happiness went down immediately, bro. Immediately. And I was just like, whoa, 43 years old. And, with all of the details that came out about him fighting colon cancer for 4 years. And I'm just sitting here thinking of all of the movies that I've seen him do for the past 4 years while he's been doing, fighting, having this fight still. And I just think of not necessarily the toll that it would have on your body if you already have that, but just the additional strength and the mental strength that you would have to go into here knowing that you're battling cancer, but then still knowing that you're doing this job. And then with the Black Panther, and then the additional movies, you still got the movie, you still got the touring that you have to do to promote it and all this other stuff to support these movies that you're doing, though, bro. It just, my mind was all over the place, though, bro. All over the place. Infinity War,
Civil
21
War.
Bridges, all of them movies that apparently he shot while he'd been fighting this guy. And the thing that's crazy to me is that I remember, this is the wild part though, bro, when they talk about you never know what somebody's going through, man, behind closed doors, because I remember watching The Bloods, and I was like, man, before I saw that movie, I think I saw something pop up on Twitter, somewhere on social media, of a picture of him, and he was real skinny. I was thinking like, yo, maybe he got skinny for a particular movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Then when I saw the Bloods and I saw that he was pretty slim, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what he got slim for. Even though you can kind of look in his face and tell that he was didn't look as healthy in the face. But I thought that again, it was part of the role, though, bro. Just caught me off guard because of how young he was, how he was just really starting to get his flowers, right? People were starting to recognize him as one of those guys, though, bro. So, oh my gosh, man, it hurt my heart to hear that one, though, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. Like, I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know if it's, maybe I don't know what it is, but it's one of those things. Like, I turned 40 Thursday, and it's like one of those things. Like, I was not necessarily looking forward to it. Like, I mean, even last week, I didn't even think like, oh shoot, next week is my birthday. It was just one of those things. Like, I know we're in August, and I know September's after that, but after that, it was just kind of like, man, you have to be excited because it's not promised when your time is. Like, you just don't know. And so you got to celebrate every breath you get to take, and every moment that you are healthy, you got to celebrate it because this place is temporary. And
hey, fellas, go get checked, man. See your doctors regularly. The thing about it, so this is the thing about it. They always say that colon cancer is one of those things that, that black men in particular, probably one of the number one killers, if I'm not mistaken, but it's also one of the most, preventable ones, one of the ones that are most treatable, provided that it's caught early enough though, man. And I know that, I think that generally speaking with most guys, you start to get colon checks and stuff like that in your early 40s, if I'm not mistaken though, man. So, but man, get checked out, get them physicals every year though, man. Don't be waiting and then you fool around and you laid up in the hospital and your family find out you didn't got this issue going on and they could have been something you could have prevented a long time ago. You've just been sitting on it though, man. Go and get checked out though, bro. Yeah. But hit me like a ton of bricks though, bro. Absolutely. Like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, that one got me, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, Kobe got me, but this one probably got me a little bit more.
This one got me around. I was, you know what it is, man, is that the Kobe one got me from the standpoint that I just thought that Kobe was like indestructible, bro. Like he literally tore his Achilles tendon and came back to shoot a couple free throws. I saw Kobe dislocate his ring finger and on the way back to the bench had the guy pop his finger back in place and then go back out there and start playing and sub right back in. Was out of the game for only a couple of seconds. And so to see, like I said, I think I told somebody before, I would have believed that before Kobe crashed a helicopter, that someone would have told me that Kobe then jumped out the helicopter and saved everybody in the same jump and something that's just, you would be like, hell no, seriously. Like that's how I believe it would have been with Kobe. But that was one of those ones. So this one hit me that way only because I think that it was because I had just saw the Bloods, the Bloods. What's this? I'm gonna call it the Bloods or the Five Bloods. I think it's Five Bloods. But I saw it just not that long ago. It wasn't that long ago that I was watching Avengers, and the fact that he's a superhero, bro. It's almost like you're watching Christopher Reeves in a wheelchair, right? It's like so. That's the reason why it would be like if Henry Cavill, right? He's Superman, right? And if something happened to him, it's like, no, the last time I saw you, you was superhuman, bro. That's probably why for me it was a big deal though, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about this though. We were alluding to it though, man. Recap. So we did the pod on Friday, right? Immediately after the pod. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Well, we gonna talk about that because I got something I gotta run by. But immediately after the pod, right? So we tell everybody, hey, hop on. We about to go ahead and go live with the big homie, DJ Mark Lane. The mic is yours. Ace, I want you to roll this one on now. I want you to set this one up. I want you to quarterback this one real quick.
So it comes up. We're sitting up here waiting in line. And so we were slated to be back to back because of how late, like we were kind of like some of the last couple of acts. I think there was like maybe two more acts after us. Comes up and one of the comedians started having some technical issues. So that puts you up sooner than later. And you get your first opportunity on a virtual performance.
Yes, sir.
What was the feeling? What was the adrenaline like?
Let me tell you what's crazy, bro. So I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the things that I'll tell someone that you just have to be. You got to be a musician to understand. And not even okay. Let me take a step back. So I tried to explain to somebody before that I was gonna stop doing music when I was about 29, right?
Yeah.
Then I had my son, and my son is getting older. And when I say stop doing music, I was saying stop rapping, right? But then it's like when you're a writer, you write. That's what you do, right? And so I think the part that I think that when I stopped writing for like 6 months basically, and the part that I think that I missed was hearing myself. Like this is gonna sound conceited, but I think that there's nothing more addicting than hearing yourself sound good. And when I say that, I mean that from a standpoint of when you wrote some lyrics, you've produced the song, and then you've recorded it, and it sounds exactly how you thought you creatively, how you wanted it to sound in that creative process, right? So the one thing that I thought that was dope about doing the Mic Is Yours was that the song that I did, for starters, I had already put this song out last year. I'd put the song out, even did a video for it and everything like that. And when I saw your performance of it the last month, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is not a family show, but I'm not trying to the song wasn't too vulgar. So I was like, this is a pretty cool little song. But the main thing I wanted to do was just, what I'm saying, it's still a big deal to me to be able to show people that, the boy can rap. I'm good. I'm solid. You know what I'm saying? So, but I also wanted to do an unplugged version of the song, so that worst case scenario, the beat that I originally had, I didn't know if you'd be able to hear all of the instrumentation behind it, all the little nuances and everything like that. So I was like, well, I had this idea of doing an unplugged version of the song, and played around with some stuff, but came up with the beat the week before the week before the actual date, and playing around with this guitar loop and everything like that, put some cool little drums behind. I was like, all right. So literally 4 days before, I was finally ready. Never recorded it before, right? Never had this version of the song. It just, and to be quite honest, didn't have any background vocals or nothing at all. It's just, I had the beat, and I knew in my head how I wanted to go. So it was real dope, bro, that when I recorded the song, right, that same high that you have of, all right, I recorded this song, and now I'm listening to it, and it sounds exactly how I had it in my head. Whether somebody else like it or not, in my head, it was what I was hoping to execute. So when I was doing the song, I had got with the homeboy Mark, and I had let him hear it. He was the first person who had ever heard me do this version of it, right? Just as a sound check. And he was like, yo, that was dope. So I was like, yeah, when I was doing it, I knew I was killing it, right? I'm like, I'm not feeling myself, but I knew I was killing it, bro. So then I was like, oh man. So I knew that the sound was good on my podcast mic. So do the actual show though, bro. And I thought that it was dope. I mean, I was very confident in, and the sound and what I was going to present though, bro. But I'll tell you this though, man, the thing that I absolutely loved was the reception. Because when I did the song, I was getting feedback from people like I know people who follow me, who check for my music, but I was getting feedback from them like this was a brand new song. And I was like, dog, I've already did this before. Like, you should know, you should know this already though, man. So for people to respond to it like it was a brand new song, I thought that was dope. And the feedback that I got, man, I've had people who was reaching out. Shout out to the homeboy DJ Black Caesar, man. He was like, yo, man, this was real dope. I felt like real connected to the song and everything like that. He was like, yo, you mind if I put this into one of my mixes? I was like, yeah, I've never recorded it before, right? So I was like, well, yeah, if you want to pull the audio from Facebook, feel free. But I saw all of the comments, man, and I was like, yo, I feel like I need to go ahead and record a version of this then though, bro. So the next day, after I'm getting all this feedback, I'm up, Saturday night, bro, and I'll finally go ahead and record the clean version of this particular song though, man. And so it was real dope though, bro. So got a chance to get it mastered, got it sounding real wet, got it sound polished. So now, if you want to check that version of the song out, it will be live on all streaming platforms on 9/11. But if you want to download the song right now, think about myself. You can go to my website, charlievenus.com, and it is available. It is available for you to download or listen to right away. If you want to download it, listen to it. It's there. But the creative process, though, man, was we talk about it all the time about the best parts about being independent. And I thought that it was the big thing about being independent, bro, is that you carry a lot of the responsibility because, you know, everything's on you. But the good thing is that you're able to respond fast. So when people told me, yo, this is dope and everything like that, I was like, all right, well, you know, people's like, I would love to hear this. So where can I hear it? I was like, well, it don't exist. So now I got to go through and record it. So it was dope to be able to respond that fast to, you know, the positive feedback on it though, man. So yeah. So if you want to take a listen to that song though, man, it's on my website, charlievenus.com. It's free to download. It'll be out there on any streaming platforms on 9/11. But for the time being, check your boy out, man. charlievenus.com and listen to that though, man.
Well, two things I want to bring up after what you just said. For one, you bring up an interesting point because you said people were responding as though they've never heard the song before.
Right.
What that tells me, we have a lot of great people that support us, but I think a lot of the people that support us because they know us.
True.
Not necessarily because they know the product.
Right.
Because I even go back to when I did my online concert, right? And I'm performing songs straight off of the Slipping Away album. And people was like, oh my gosh, this song jams. Or I was gigging like, oh, this was cool. I'm like, this album was released about a year ago, y'all. Like,
yeah.
Like, and so and here's the thing. I'm grateful for anybody that's just like, look, I've known him since high school. I've known him since Ransier middle school days. I've known him all his life. I just want to support because that I'm appreciative of that.
Facts.
But I'm also like, you might just want to listen to it because it's kind of dope.
That's so, you know what, bro? That I'm gonna be honest with you, man. So this is the thing. I think that for me, one of the things that I'm nervous about, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you about my new project, right? Is that is the thing, right? Like I want someone to support it. Yeah, I appreciate you supporting it because it's me, and anybody who support me for whatever the reason, I would, you know, I would appreciate it and everything. But at the same time, I don't want you to just support it because of that. I want you to support it because it's as dope as whatever you would be listening to right now. Like it's the real thing. And I think that the big thing though that I am very hesitant on is that what this whole process has taught me though is that I put it out before. I thought that the previous version of it was dope. And mind you, I never intended to record a version of this. I only wanted to have this, you know what I'm saying? Like if I ever had to do it live and I was at somewhere or what, you know, whatever, you know. And so, but it does, I got to be honest with you though, bro. When I did see that response when you were performing your concert, and I was like, yo, why? The boy stuff dope, and it's been dope for a while. Like why people acting like these is brand new songs like that though, man? And so I am nervous about putting out my project from that. My wife always asks me, when you gonna put it out? When you gonna put it out? And while I'm mastering and everything like that though, bro, part of my hesitation is the reception of it though, bro. And it's interesting, man. But
Erykah Badu, bro. She said, hey, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about
I'm very sensitive about my music though, man, because I think that the thing that makes it rather unique for you and I is that, you know, dog, I might spend an hour just listening to snares. I might spend an hour on just trying to make sure I got the right hi-hats down. I might spend, you know, 30 minutes on trying to make sure that I got the right reverb on this horn. And I just want that to be appreciated and not just that's just the production side, right? But then it's like I'm writing all of my own songs, right? So I want every single noun, every single verb to be appreciated. And even on your projects, right? It's like when we writing your songs, like there's these stories behind it, and there's all these little things that I just hope that people would appreciate the same way how somebody might connect to any other person who they may consider to be mainstream. Like, nah, I look at my work the same way that someone would look at any other mainstream artist. And so the same way I would look for them to, like, I appreciate you to support me because it's just me. But at the same time, I still want you to recognize the dope and stuff. But with that said, though, right? So I get on here, and your boy goes through sounding all good, get done killing it. Had one of the homies come on up behind me. Oh yeah, I'm trying to introduce you. You just gonna pull out the single code.
Man, this wasn't even.
You just gonna pull out the game.
That ain't even come up yet. We'll talk
about my brother from another mother, Ace Kennedy, comes on over here. Let me set this on up for you real quick. So my brother comes on over here. Unbeknownst to me, I'm thinking like, listen, I'm just gonna wear the same thing I had on for the podcast. We moving, we straight. I'm cool. So I'll get on. I do my thing. I'm thinking I done killed it. Boy, so I walk off. I go grab something to eat. I come backstage on the Zoom call. I see my brother from another mother looking hella R&B out here though, man. My boy's out here with the big brim hat on. He got the brown sunglasses on. The boy was clean. And listen, I saw the ring light glare in the glasses too, though, bro. Real clean all the way around. And the thing that topped the cake, the thing that absolutely topped the cake, my brother was out here, though, boy, audio sounding A1, premium audio. My boy got all the reverb on his voice. My boy sounds like he's literally on stage doing the sound check, flawless sound. I said, oh, gosh, though, bro. I thought I sounded good, though, bro. You had that extra wet on there. Like, listen, I had that bucket of water wet. You had to pull the whole cannonball in the pool wet. It was clean. I said, yo, and then the thing that I love the most, even though I saw your earpiece fall out, I saw the professionalism still kept on going. And the one thing I love the most was I love that you was hitting the highs, the falsettos. And most of the time, you know, some people do a variation of it, but it ain't quite. I thought that it was dope that you was hitting it just like I heard him on the album. So I'm backstage grooving, boom, boom, boom. And I'm pretty sure some of the other people was like, you know, how the hell he know this song, whatever, though. But I was grooving to it, bro. Like, I was like, man, though. But to you, I want to know from you, what were you experiencing then, though?
Well, so here's the thing. Now, this is because we're on our platform and we giving behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So Mark initially asked me, you know, a long time ago, like, hey, will you be on the next one? Like, his mom got on the phone, was like, nah, I need you to be on next time. And I told him, yeah. Well, as we got closer, I didn't hear from him, especially because, you know, y'all had a couple of meetings and, you know what I'm saying, and or whatever. And so it wasn't until I think Thursday before the show, he actually hit me up, was like, yo, you still good for tomorrow? And I was just like, yeah. So part of it, you know, obviously with just so many moving layers in my household, I was like, yeah, I'm very excited about it. I mean, you know, I know the song, so let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And especially it was one of those things, like, I knew you were going to be on the show, but I wanted you to have that experience. I wasn't trying to, like, you know, I wanted
to outshine me with your R&B suit on.
Right. I didn't want to do all that. Like, I'm like, look, I want my bro to get his shine. So I was grateful that he put me after you so that you could just have that moment. You know what I'm saying? It was. And so the thing is, another thing too, for singers, it's very hard to really like get it sitting down. But at the same time, especially with the time window of jumping off the pod and then jumping on
right
to the show, I didn't really have a chance to really reset, you know, like change my camera angles or do whatever the case may be. So I was just like, let me just sit here and try to keep it. And then, like you said, so I have the in-ear monitors, my joint fell out my pocket and I didn't hear anything. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm sitting up here watching you bob your head. So I'm trying to grab it, stick it back in and keep singing. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. But at the same time, super grateful for Mark, man.
It was dope. It was real dope. I'm gonna tell you a couple of things that stood out to me. Was the twins. I think the name was Royalty. They had that real H-Town feel to their singing, bro. I thought they stood out. The homie Des Tutu, He was one of the homies that performed. I think he didn't go after me. He was like the second person after me though, bro. He went out there. He got a dope video to match the song that he did though, man. He got a couple of joints. He kind of give you that golden era kind of feel though, bro. He's real solid. And then there was another dude who I saw a lot of people commenting on, the cat Charisma, did spoken word though, bro. Real dope, man. Those are the ones that while I didn't get a chance to see everybody because I was trying to go ahead and grab something, eat, get set up, whatever. But for the few that I saw, I thought that it was real dope. And I looked at some of the comments of it, I saw those were some of the ones that people were definitely feeling though, man. So it was real dope, man. And then not just that though, man. It was real dope that I saw a lot of people from Killeen that was on there. So I'm glad that the boys was representing that K-Town, real official like though, bro.
That was the love, man, right there. Like seeing everybody like come out and like, yo, y'all boys was killing it. Like, don't get me wrong. I appreciate any platform, especially when there's other artists that I don't know. That's always fine, but it's always that competitive competition of let me try to outshine whoever else is on the show.
I was the same way. I'm not gonna lie though, bro. So this is my thing about. I knew what you was gonna bring. Yeah. I didn't want you to be the only one that was gonna be on there killing it. But plus, I mean, just the competitive nature of me is that once I knew that there were gonna be some other rappers on. I mean, you know me. I'm just like, I'm trying to kill the other rappers. Right. Yeah, I'm trying to shine though, right? So I thought that was dope. I think that the other thing too for me is that for me though, man, like I said, even though me and you always talk about being hardly ever home, always repping. I mean, it's like for me, in my music in particular, I'm so clean in my music still. And I think that it was a big deal for me knowing that it was going to be a lot of clean people on there. There probably still are some people who never heard my music. Some people might not even know I rap. Somebody be like, oh, that's Venus from, whatever. Right. And so I think that's still, I wanted to, for the people who didn't know, I wanted them to be able to hear the boy and be like, yeah, man, that boy can rap. But above anything else, they can be like, yeah, that boy can go. So that was real dope for me though, man. So.
Well, it was also a start for me because I mean, like I said, this is birthday week, so it's kind of one of those things, right? Where it's like this show this Friday, you know what I'm saying? Going into this week, which I knew the game 6, so I got to tune in to sing the national anthem for the Thunder, so that was huge. And then, of course, Thursday is the birthday.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that this coming Friday, I'm going to release my new segment.
Hey. I thought you was going to perform this.
I was going to. I rehearsed it, but something just didn't click for me. I mean, like I was ready for it, but I sitting down, there's certain notes that I wanted. Like if I'm introducing the song, I wanted to slaughter that thing. So it's just sitting down. I just was like, let me not. But this is the album cover. I'm gonna drop the video and the song on Friday. I know I've been talking about it for quite a while, so I'm super thrilled about it, and I can't wait to let everybody get into it. So I let the panel, I mean my inner circle, kind of peep it.
Shout out to the boy Mark, not even Mark Lane. Shout out to the homeboy Mark Lane's edge up. That boy had that old Steve Harvey crispy lineup. I knew the boy was fresh, and I knew the boy was out there with the white jacket. Yeah, but when I saw that boy had that crispy lineup on that door, I said, bro, that boy sounded like it was stenciled on there though, man. So hey, I said, I almost wanted to put him on the spot. Like, God damn, your hairline is crispy, though, boy.
Yo, but you see, the boy was out there doing them USAA drops today.
Yes, I saw that, but I don't. I was expecting. Listen, bro, his stuff was LeBron James pregame crispy, bro. It was crispy though, man. But listen, I had a good time. I think that like I said, I definitely look forward. I would love to do it again another time though, bro.
Absolutely.
I think that it definitely looks like I only see it getting better and better and better. But I had a real good time though, man.
Well, it's funny that you say having a good time performing and stuff like that, because just yesterday there was 2 young ladies that were performing or sharing music celebrating as Monica and Brandy purchase. Now I'm gonna be honest.
1.2 million people on the Instagram. That's the most.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I did jump on to catch a little bit of it, but I didn't watch as much because of the fact I was navigating, trying to see what was going on with the national anthem, and I was watching the Thunder game. So it was one of those things where I got notification about 15 minutes prior to the start of the game that they weren't actually going to broadcast the anthem because of the fact that the Miami and the Bucks game was going over the broadcast time. So it was one of those things I was navigating. So I had people calling me, like my phone was going crazy. I literally had to turn my notifications off for a little while just so that I could think, because my mom was calling me, my videographer was calling me. I had people texting me and like, yo, what channel and when is this and how, are they going to play it? Have they played it yet? And I was like, let me think real quick. So it was one of those things I was navigating that, but I did catch a little bit of it. But you and I kind of talked a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna let you kind of
listen, bro. So here's what I think was interesting about it, right? So we gonna get into the tail of the tape. We're gonna get into the stats, but this is the one thing I think that was kind of interesting though, bro. So what I found to be interesting is I saw a lot of people talking about, yo, there's a lot of shade going on over here though, bro, for this thing. And I was just like, that there's so much. So this is the thing I think, it never fails. Listen, it never fails that when they do the versus battles, that aside from the music, the entertainment value, like when 2 Chainz and Ross did their thing, right? And when the boy 2 Chainz had the strippers came on out there, he had that. Rick Ross out there with the shoulders going out here. Rick Ross having a girl giving a massage out here. There's always something. The extra stuff is what I'm there for. DMX, Snoop Dogg, all the extra stuff. But this one, bro, dog, I thought that it was crazy to me. These undertone things that I've always thought that The Boy Is Mine. I thought that was like almost like some fabricated maybe beef for back then to help the song Monica versus Brandy fighting over a boy. But then I was just sitting here thinking, though, Ace Denzel, I said, bro, is there really something still to that? Because little subtle things, though, bro. Like I remember watching it and Brandy was singing Sam Cooke, Change Gonna Come. She's singing this thinking that Monica was gonna jump in there. And Monica's like, half if you don't stop somewhere and sit down or whatever, you being wild extra though, bro. So I'm just sitting there thinking like, bruh. And so Brandy was like, yeah, I thought you was gonna kind of jump on in there. And then she says, yo, we a group. And then Monica said, no, we ain't. I was like, wait a minute, Monica, wait a minute. Ace, Monica's out here with probably the most expensive Fendi outfit on that the company has ever made. Brandy is sitting here looking like she just got done cleaning up on Saturday and she out here just trying to be comfortable and she ain't worried about what nobody got to say though, bro. She looks hella comfortable. They just look like they're at 2 different parties, and it didn't help that I saw Erykah Badu comment that she thought that Brandy had on the Monica sandals from the first video. Bro, this is hilarious stuff though, man. So there's all these little things that I'm also observing that's going on. But when it came down to it though, Ace, I got to be honest, man. I could not call a clear winner for this one. I actually have it as a tie. And I want to tell you why.
Mark has a clear winner.
Mark has a clear winner. He says Monica 14-6. Let me tell you a couple things. We always talk about it when it comes to songs, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest. I thought that Brandy had a couple of ones that okay, we'll get into it. She didn't play all the songs that I thought she was gonna say, But here's why I look at it. And I kind of laugh because I was going back and forth with Mark while we're watching this one, though, man. Shout out to Mark from Lone Branch. And I'm going back and I'm trying not to be biased because I do love me some Monica, but I love me some Brandy. Love me some Brandy. So here's how I broke down the tape. All right, now I'm curious to see who you would say won this one too. What About Us, Monica? Everything to Me. Who you got?
What About Us?
Okay, I did too. So I gave that one to Brandy. She had He Is. Monica had A Dozen Roses.
Probably A Dozen Roses.
A Dozen Roses produced by Missy too, and it's dope. I gave it to Monica. Here's where I think that it gets a little interesting. So you got Full Moon versus So Gone.
That was a waste of time. So Gone killed that.
What?
Full Moon is trash. I do not like this song.
No, Full Moon. Listen, Full Moon. So you know what I like about Full Moon. So Full Moon. There's certain things that I like. Okay. So what I love about Full Moon is that you know how Bow Wow has a song with Sierra, and she's saying, I don't know, and that's the harmony, right? I thought that I've never heard that before, and then I thought about that one, Full Moon, and then she's like, on Full Moon, she's I thought the harmony on the cadence of that is incredible. I've never heard that before, so that was hard for me. So I called that round a tie because I like the songs the same to me.
No, it wasn't.
Right?
So
right, so
hold on. Full Moon isn't trash. It's not for me.
Okay. So listen, I Want to Be Down. Don't Take It Personal.
I Want to Be Down.
See, I called that one a tie also because I love Don't Take It Personal. And I love I Want to Be Down. And she played the remix version of it. And I almost was ready to give it to Monica. I mean, sorry, I was almost ready to give it to Brandy, but I was like, yo, let me hold off. Right. So I called that one a tie. All right. Here's another interesting. Brandy had Baby. Baby, 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 baby. And then Monica played Like This and Like That. This old song that was on the album produced by Dallas Austin. I gave that to Brandy. It was a pretty easy one. Let me tell you another thing that I thought that some people in the comments was getting annoyed with. Was Brandy was reading some poetry almost before some of these songs that were from her first album. And it was cool the first time, second time. After a couple of times now, I was like, all right, now, Moesha, come on now. Okay, so here's where it got different. Song number 6 was Angel in Disguise. Monica Should Have Known Better.
Should have known better.
Oh, I called that one Brandy, bro. I called Brandy. Angel in the sky. Da, da. And there's that little ad-lib in the background. The sample said, da, 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 da. That thing go fed, bro. Okay. Here's another tough one. Missing You from the Set It Off soundtrack. For You I Will.
For You I Will.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I called that one a tie. I couldn't decide. Okay, here's another one. Almost Doesn't Count. Everybody knows that almost doesn't count. Versus Why I Love You So Much, Monica. Baby, 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 baby. Why I love you so much. I love only you.
I probably would have called that a tie.
No, I gave that one to Monica easily, though, man. That was one. Okay, now here is a tough one there. And it wasn't that tough to me. Okay, so Broken Hearted versus Love All Over Me.
Broken Hearted.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I tried to tell the homie Mark this. Let me tell you what's funny about Broken Hearted, though, bro. Let me tell you a funny story about Broken Hearted. So Broken Hearted came out like in 95-ish. It was still popular, right? That it was like around that like basketball season, right? So, bro, I remember Valentine's Day came around. Valentine's Day 1996, right? I'm sitting here at the time I'm dating Kanika Daly, right? So
whole government
it's just K-Town, so it's you know what's up. So listen, so I'm fooling around. I'm sitting here like I'm hooping. I'm on I'm on JV, right? So I'm and I'm working. I think I was still working at Kenny's Shoes at the time, right? In the mall. So I'm at Kenny's Shoes, bro. And what's crazy about this, dog, is that I'm sitting out and saved up my little money, though, bro. Valentine's Day come around, high school, though, bro. And you know you killing it. If you come through with the flowers, you come through with the teddy bear. So I got all of this stuff. I got flowers, teddy bears. I went all out, bro. I had the chocolate. I had like the mug. I mean, I'm out here killing it. I know I'm killing it, though, bro. I'm thinking like, man. So I slide through. And so I'm sitting here looking for my girl. And so I'm looking around and usually I meet her like at my locker, like almost every single morning or whatever. I come through the locker though, man, she ain't even there, bro. I'm thinking like, dang. So I'm still looking. I'm thinking like, all right, this all cool. I put my stuff in my locker, come back in between periods, and I see my homegirl, Janae, who had a locker across the hallway from me.
Wait.
She said,
Janae.
Okay, yeah. This is Janae. Listen, though. So I fool around, though, bro. We go out. So Janae says that, hey, I heard this rumor that she broke up with you yesterday. And I was like, what? No. This is fresh off of we had just had a game the other day against Cove. I thought I saw her. But apparently, though, man, Janae said, nah, man, I heard that she broke up with your homeboy. I was like, yo, like, nah. So go off the basketball, right? The basketball period, though, bro. We hooping, though. Listen, Ace, I'm sitting here going through it. I'm hella emotional. I'm thinking like, bruh, is this facts, though, man? So I'm sitting here, the last one to come out the locker room, bro. I'm sitting here walking under the bleachers, dog. I'm over here under the bleachers crying, dog. Dog, I'm under the bleachers crying, though, man. I was like, man. And this is lunch the next period. So I'm leaving from basketball to go to lunch, and I am sitting here under the bleachers crying, dog. I was like, oh, and all I can think of is Brandy broken hearted. I am sitting here crying under the bleachers in basketball, after basketball, though, right? So let me tell you how it panned on out, right? So I finally get my stuff together, right? Get it together, right? I had to go back to the locker room, wash my face up, shake it on off and everything like that, right? And somehow, though, man, while I'm sitting here, I'm going back to my locker to go ahead and go. She was like, yeah, because me and Janae, we go way back. We go back to Nolan, and we were some of the only few people who went to Nolan and actually went to Killeen. We were supposed to go to Ellison, but we both stayed in Marlboro. So she says, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? We was at track practice, and there's this rumor going around that you was talking to somebody else at the basketball game. So she just said, nah. And you would not believe who the other person was, though, homeboy.
Who was the other person?
My Nisha.
I just
no governments. Listen, bro. So she says that. So she says, so Janae says, well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do with all of this stuff, bro? It was in my locker. So I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So we come back from lunch, though, and I'm still kind of going through it. But I had to link up with the homies and everything, right? So I get done with lunch, and I'm sitting here going through it, though, bro. And so what's crazy is I see her in the hallway. I didn't see her at lunchtime. I'm coming back. I see her in the hallway, and I take one step to go approach her. She takes off running, bolts out the other way. I was like, oh, my Lord.
Fresh out of track practice,
and dipped out on me. So then I give all of the stuff I had to Janae though. And so for 2 periods or 3 periods, Janae was my Valentine for that particular day though, bro. It was hilarious though, man. But yeah, bro. So I got dumped on Valentine's Day. And so I had to walk home. And while I'm walking home, I have my CD player, my Walkman, and I'm listening to Brandy, Broken Hearted, walking all the way home, almost in tears the whole way home, though, bro. But it was hilarious, though, man.
Manisha.
Oh my God. But that was in 10th grade, bro. So Broken Hearted wins that round to me easily, bro. All right. Number 10, Top of the World, Brandy. Still Standing, Monica.
I like Top of the World. I don't know.
Top of the World, though.
Yeah.
Still standing. I'm still standing. That's what she tells a story about, her previous relationship wound up shooting himself in front of her and all that stuff. She talked about that on there.
Okay.
So here's the other one. This is one they had. They had Borderline and Commitment. I'm going to be completely honest. I've only heard both of these songs maybe 1 or 2 times, but I wasn't in love with 1 or 2 or either one enough to call it. So I just called it I thought it was a tie. It was a waste of a round to me for Brandy personally. I think that Borderline, if I listen to the news, maybe Borderline is slightly better, but I didn't think that it was that much to make me be like, oh, so I couldn't comment on that one. But Brandy had a stretch where she wasn't looking good at all. She had Love Again versus Slow Jams that Monica did featuring Usher.
Oh yeah, she lost that before she
had that one.
Yeah.
Brandy had Put It Down, and then she had the First Night versus Monica. I just make a move, but I won't. Monica got that one, right? So then she had Who Is She to You? Brandy, dope album song. But she had it versus Knock Knock, another one of the ones from that album that Missy produced. I gave that to Monica as well. Where it got a little tough, she had Best Friend. And mind you, I love Best Friend, right? But Monica was smart. She put it up against Before You Walk Out My Life, bro. And that's probably one of the top 3 Monica songs, I think. So I gave that to Monica. So Monica had 4 straight rounds to me where I thought she was washing. Boom, 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 boom. Right. So then Monica comes back. She off the ropes. Sitting Up in My Room versus Every Time the Beat Drop.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember how Every Time the Beat dropped. But
rock on your knees every time the beat dropped. It was back when the Snap era. It was like, yeah. It was dope. It was dope. So I remember.
I probably would have gave that one a tie because Sitting Up in My Room is classic.
Sitting Up in My Room, I thought Brandy clearly won that one though. I thought that was it because I still remember Sitting Up in My Room from the Wait and Excel soundtrack. When soundtracks, still was a big thing. Yeah, so I gave the Brandy that one. So then. Talk about Our Love versus Sideline Ho. This is one that I think that was interesting because this was probably like one of those songs where I thought that that a lot of people love Sideline Ho. I thought that it was cool. I would have liked it against another song, but the Talk About Our Love was the one that she had with Kanye. And this is when I first started liking Kanye. So that song resonates with me more. So I gave it to Brandy, but I can see why someone would give that to Monica because apparently there's like a cult following of Sideline Ho. To that you say what? I thought you would automatically give it to her because Tank wrote Sideline Ho.
I mean, I get that, but to say, I think that's the direction I would go, and even before knowing about the Tank thing. But no, I'm definitely thinking.
Talk About Our Love is when Kanye produced that. He also around the same time was heavily producing a bunch. He produced the Ludacris stand up, and it was real. This was Kanye was in his bag, like seriously around then.
Yeah.
So then she had Put That on Everything, Brandy. Trust, Monica. I gave that to Monica.
Okay. I mean,
put that on everything. I mean, she probably, like I said, another one. Oh, that was another thing. The harmony that Monica had on the sideline hole when she did it live. Oh, it was incredible though, bro. It sounded just like the record though, bro. It was cold.
Yeah.
So I gave that to Monica. What was it? Impossible, Monica. I mean, Brandy, Just Right for Me, Monica. I gave that to Monica. And then Have You Ever versus For You I Will. No, hold on. I got these mixed up. I think I got for You I Will another time, but I think it was I thought it was For You I Will. Maybe I thought I said For You I Will, but it was
I heard you say that earlier, but I mean,
it's Have You Ever versus but it was one of the other classic Monica songs. I think I'm missing it though. But I also called that one a tie because I love Have You Ever. Like Have You Ever is but the song that Monica had was one of them top 5 Monica songs. And so with that being said,
overall, you still got them tied up though.
I got them tied. So I got if I'm including ties where I could not tell one way or the other, I don't know how it just happened, but I got 7 songs Monica, 7 songs Brandy, where I thought that they were clear to me. It was Angel of Mine. That's what it was. Angel of Mine.
Angel of Mine
versus Have You Ever.
Have You Ever would have killed that.
So that is where. So that's what I'm saying. So because I got it, I called that. I was like, I couldn't tell what it was. So I got 7 songs Brandy, 7 songs Monica, and 6 songs where I said these are just a tie or what that I couldn't tell one way or the other. And it just so happens that 6 was that round number to fill out the 20.
Now,
go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say at the same time, I would understand why people like Angel of Mine like that. I get it. That's one of them.
Yeah. But it's one of them songs.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't see anything wrong because I know a lot of people on my timeline. They were just like Monica. Even the Breakfast Club ahead of time said Monica. I get it. So I understand. I just think at the same time, it's one of those things like your story alone is what I said that if you like Brandy, I could see why Brandy would have the edge because you can almost picture what you was doing, where you were at when you heard Brandy.
I cried under the bleachers, bro.
Yeah. See, you don't be trying to say just because you was crying.
I can tell you that I'm saying this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. Ace Kennedy. If I can tell you that I cried under the bleachers in 10th grade, when are you gonna finally profess that you did cry at the bowling alley? It's okay, bro. We saw you. We saw that. I just don't understand. We saw you crying at the bowling alley, bro. I'm telling you that I did. Nobody saw me, but I'm telling you that I did. But what I'm telling you is 5 people saw you crying at the bowling alley over the girl, bro. It happens, though. Playoffs, it happened.
2 questions. Number 1, do you have a picture of me crying? Number 2,
I probably do. Probably do.
Find the picture.
If your eyes is red, if your eyes are red in the picture, it's because you was crying, bro.
Find the picture of me crying, and is it on Facebook? If it ain't on Facebook, it never happened.
No, this is before Facebook, before MySpace.
Exactly. Before Black Planet, all of that.
Before all of that, though, man. No, but listen, though, man. I think that do you know the one thing though that I am kind of surprised? Like maybe it's because I've always been a big Monica fan. Like I think I said on the last show. I think that I've always been a fan of all of, especially the female singers who were young when we were young. So like the Brandy, the Monica, Beyonce, the Aaliyahs. You know what I'm saying? Like those people resonate to me. So to follow them and then still see that they're dope after all of these years, when there's a number of reasons why they could have fell off. I think so. I was surprised though, man, that I thought that maybe it was just me that really rocked with Monica like that. Like I thought that clearly Brandy had more hits, you know what I'm saying? Like charting wise, but I was just surprised though that more people just like Sideline Ho wasn't a radio song, but it was one that everybody just said, yo, you got to play this song. So I don't know, man. But very surprised though, man.
I am just happy for the culture, right? That you had these women that were able to be celebrated, regardless of whatever antics happen. And this is the era of people gonna have jokes. So what I'm saying. But at the same time, people know of their past. They didn't always get along, and whatever the case may be. But it was cool for them to be celebrated in that way of 100.2 million people tuning in to see that these women could be celebrated. So I'm grateful for that.
Let me tell you this, the thing that I thought was interesting. The other thing that I thought that was interesting was that was when they at the end, right? So Monica said something that was real. Slide this on in there real quick, right? Because they were talking about, they were singing "The Boy Is Mine" as their little grand finale or whatever, right? So one other thing to talk about too. So when they had that, right, Monica said, Monica missed a couple of words or whatnot, though, man. So Monica said, "Oh, you should know it's your song. You own the song or whatever, though." And I thought I saw someone make a post that, Monica, that the Brandy had pulled the song so that even though it was a song that was featured on both of their albums, the fact that, publishing wise, maybe that Brandy owns it, that you can't listen to that if you listen to a Monica album anymore. Though I thought that was one thing that I guess I just didn't know. And maybe that's just the business. But the other thing too, though, man, is that I got to be honest, man. Monica played a new single with Lil Baby, bro, and I didn't like it. And to be quite honest, it's probably one of the first songs that I've heard that Lil Baby, when I listened just to Lil Baby rap, I didn't like. And I'm a new Lil Baby fan because I had previously said, hey, I've heard him do 6 straight songs where I didn't think they was whack. Well, maybe he's not whack. And then I was like, well, I actually like him, so that means I like him. I heard this one, I was like, nah, wasn't blown away by it though, bro. This didn't it seemed like the feature wasn't necessary. Yeah, so it's supposed to come out. I'd be curious to see what you think about it when you hear it.
Business, I'm pull it up on Tidal, but the business wise, I mean, it makes sense for her as an artist who's a legacy artist to try to do a song with somebody that's popping. I mean, that's business. So I mean, I get it.
Yeah. But overall, though, man, it was. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Musically, it was some awkward moments in it, right? Musically, it probably was. Well, I don't know. Stupid DMX. When I say, "Oh, this was the best one ever," Stupid DMX probably so far has been my favorite one outside of the one that I enjoyed. Okay, I'll tell you this. Beanie Man, it was the one that I enjoyed entertainment-wise. Musically, Snoop and DMX. And I think that this one is probably close to Snoop and DMX in terms of just musically.
See, Nelly and Luda was mine.
So you know what? Nelly Wi-Fi was throwing it off for me. I would have enjoyed it more.
About Luda's song selection, like just reminding you of like, dang, I bumped Luda up a couple of notches.
Yeah, I would have enjoyed it more if Nelly didn't have all the technical issues though, man. He apparently needs to holler at you on his audio though, bro.
Who needed to holler at me was Jagged Edge and 112 because they audio. Yeah,
theirs was trash both ways, and so that's the thing. I thought that they could have been better, but I'll tell you this: we can roll out on this. I think that it's interesting though because I think that Brandy, Monica, we associate them from the 90s. And so I'm surprised at the draw, right? That they were able to pull in. I mean, it was 1 million soon as I joined. 1 million. I joined it probably like right before the start of it. It was already 1 million. I saw the comments. It felt like it was buzzing. I was very surprised that artists from the 90s who technically haven't had any hit records in maybe the last 4 or 5 years, right? That they could get that kind of command. It does make me think, what would somebody like a Drake or Chris Brown pull or Usher pull though, man? I think that'd be fire, bro.
You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm about to get on these basketball games and get me something to eat.
I'm gonna go ahead. Hey, Friday show. I know it's your birthday, the day after. But I'm gonna need you to explain to me what y'all gonna do with this Brian Urlacher situation on over here, there, bro.
Yeah, we got to do it. We'll talk about it.
What is that anyway?
CP3, son. What you talking about?
I don't listen, man. All the Team Jordan started to look the same, except for the ones.
CP3 got that owl up there, bro. And yeah, it's the boy CP3. Every game he's had a different HBCU on his shoe. So he's been doing this thing, and he's been wearing the matching outfit to the game. So this is just to foreshadow that.
You think they're gonna pull it off? They're gonna go ahead and finish the job?
We'll pull it off.
Well, listen, man. Shout out to everybody checking. Listen, shout out to my pops who slid on over here at the last, coming in at the last second on over here to drop in on there for checking on you, boys. Shout out to you for checking in. Shout out to the homie Mark Lane, the Mark and Mark. That's your podcast. There you go, Mark and Mark. Hey, man, listen. A lot of stuff. Check for your boy. Hey, I'm going to tell you now, and we'll remind y'all again, my boy's about to turn 40 on Thursday, and he got the new music that's dropping also as well. So check that on now. Y'all go, he turning 40. We always talking about dropping that 40 on that Cash App. Y'all can go and drop the boy that 40 on that 40, though, man. That's what you need to be putting your Cash App out there, though, man. Hey, man, Ace Kennedy, Charlie Venus, Slash Brother Podcast. Give me that music so we can get on out of here, homeboy. Audio on Spotify later on if you want to listen to it again. Holla at the boys.
The Slash Brothers Podcast. The greatest podcast of all time.
Can you dig it, sucker?